It's duel time! Hello, welcome to another Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile. Today I'm gonna have a look at one of my favorites, one of the decks I've worked on for months and months and months, trying to make it good. And I think I finally got something. I'm onto something. It's the Dark Magician deck, Burakku Majishan, the boss monster of the OG main character, Yugi. So, with Dark Neostorm having come out, there is one specific card that really helps this deck out, and a couple of other ones, but without further ado, let's have a look at it. For your main monsters, I mean, this is called a Dark Magician deck, so you run free Dark Magician. No explanation needed. Really moving on to the Magician's Rod. This card is your main search really of the deck for all your spell and trap cards. It has to be normal summoned, then you can search one Dark Magician spell or trap from your deck and add it to your hand. And as for searching your Dark Magicians themselves, we got Illusion, Apprentice, Magician, this gal also running her ad free. You just discard a card and then she special summons herself and you can search for a Dark Magician. Simple stuff. Moving on to the support cards, I got free Keeper of the Dragon Magic because we're gonna run this one with Polymerization. If this card is normal summoned, you can discard a card and add one Poly from your deck to your hand. But that's not enough. I added some stuff to search your Polies. We got heroes. Hell yeah. Vision Hero Vion, Dark Warrior type, 3 of them. Once again, when he's normal summoned or special summoned, you can send one other hero monster from your deck to your graveyard, including himself, and then add a Poly to your hand. And finally, to up the dragon count, and if you're being forced to go in turn 2, I got Iron Dragon Tiamaton. Shoutouts to my buddy Cian for showing me the true power of this card. So basically, he has a lot of effects. You can only summon this guy when there's 3 monsters, 3 cards in the same column, and you can special summon him at that point to any column. First of all, he nukes that column, destroys everything else in it, and for as long as he sits there, nobody can put anything in those columns. So you could pretty much, if you got something in the extra monster zone, you can lock your opponent out of his extra monster zone. So, also Dark Dragon, and just pretty nice toolbox overall. And then finally for your hand traps, I only run free Ash Blossom, because Ash Blossom is still the best hand trap in the game, and really upping the hand traps on this deck makes it a little bit too bricky, if you're asking me. For your spells, free Dark Magical Circle actually. Excavate the top 3 cards of your deck, and if it has a Dark Magician or Dark Magician spell or trap card, you can add it to your hand. If it has none of that, you can put everything back in the order you like. Very inconsistent. I kind of hate this card, but I also kind of love this card when it works. And every time you special summon a Dark Magician, you get to target and banish something on the field. Moving on to real draw power, I run triple Allure of Darkness. Now you might be saying you don't run Allure of Darkness in Dark Magician. Everybody has said that, but with this deck, you have Tiamaton, you have Vion, you have Dragon Keeper of Dragon Magic, I forgot his name. But you got so many dark monsters that you don't really need. You run free of all of them, and you really only need one. Well, Tiamaton you kind of need, it depends, but you really only need one Vion, you only really need one Keeper of Dragon Magic, or whatever his name was. I already forgot again. And then, the big star of the show, Mystic Mine. This card just came out with Dark Neostorm, and I looked at this and I was like, this card is amazing. This card is very annoying, but it really helps for Dark Magician for a couple of reasons. First and foremost, what does it do? Well, it says whoever has more monsters on the field cannot activate monster's effect or cannot attack. If there's the same amount of monsters on both sides, at the end phase this card destroys itself. So basically, it's a huge stall card, and that's really what Dark Magician needs, because Dark Magician is slow. Dark Magician has always been slow, and Dark Magician will always stay slow. And with Mystic Mine, you're really controlling, and you're saying when you want to go. And you can bump it with Dark Magical Circle if you don't want it anymore. That's like the thing. Also, we have more. There's something I'll talk to you later once we get to the extra deck. But for the rest of it, we got 2 Poly. You don't need more, you don't need less, and 1 Illusion Magic. Tribute 1 spellcaster from your field and get 2 Dark Magician cards from your graveyard or deck to your hand. So for your trap cards, triple Eternal Soul, special summon a Dark Magician from your hand or graveyard once per turn. Also, all your Dark Magician in your main monster zones are unaffected by spell and trap cards in your monster zones, not main monster zones, but yeah. Protection. The only unfortunate side effect of this card, if it leaves the field, your entire board gets wiped. Like, your entire monster board. All your monsters are getting destroyed when this card leaves the field. So that's... I don't even know why. It's not that good. Alright. 2 Magician Navigation, because in this scenario, in this specific build, I don't think you need more than 2. Because you're probably fusing your Dark Magicians in your hand most of the time. And there's really a lot of ways to get your Dark Magicians in your graveyard or on the field. So most of the time you will not have them in your hand, so I don't think you should run more than 2 navigations actually. And then because the deck is slow, I still run 2 Solemn Strike. You might be thinking, wow, what is this? This is like old tech. Nobody runs Solemn Strike anymore. The thing is this, a couple of reasons why I run Strike. You could say, maybe Effect Veiler, replace this with Effect Veiler, but it's not strong enough. I want negation and destruction. That's really what I was looking for, and that's why I think Solemn Strike is really good. Also, helps you control the board a lot more, which you want with Mystic Mine. If you got Mystic Mine on the field, I did that last time, I had Mystic Mine on the field. I didn't have any monsters, I was just waiting, and I got 2 strikes on the field. And I was just waiting for my opponent to be like, haha, I can destroy a Mystic Mine. And I'm like, good. And then he goes like, I activate an effect. Well, no, you don't. Strike it. Strike it! And that's not a once per turn, so I destroyed 2 monsters in his turn, so... He thought he could attack me! So yeah, real disgusting. And finally, I got 2 Metaverse. I only got 2 because we're already at 41, and especially with Dark Magical Circle, you don't want to run too many cards that brick you even more. But why am I running Metaverse instead of Terraforming? Because Metaverse goes in your opponent's turn. You can activate it in your opponent's turn. So with Dark Magician, you always want to go turn 1. So you put this on the field turn 1, and you wait for your opponent to summon just 1 monster, and you go Metaverse, and you know all your monster effects are gone for as long as this monster lies on the field, and I have no monsters. So that's really why Metaverse, I think, is more effective than Terraforming in this specific deck. For your extra deck, of course, with all the Poly stuff, we got 2 Dark Magician and Dragon Knight, very important. That's really what the entire deck is about, because that's the combo. You get Eternal Soul on the field, you get this guy on the field, he protects Eternal Soul, he protects your back row, he also protects your Mystic Mine. He protects your Mystic Mine. As long as this guy's on the field, your opponent cannot even touch your back line. So that's what's really good about this guy. Also counts as Dark Magician, so you keep reviving him with Eternal Soul. Then we got 1 Dark Cavalry. I love this card. I didn't really expect this card to be so good. But he gets 100 attack for each spell and trap card in both graveyards and on the field. So really a big beat stick. Also does piercing damage. And finally, every time your opponent tries to target any of your cards, he can negate that and destroy the card. And you only need to have something to discard from your hand. And that's not a once per turn. As long as you have cards in your hand, and as long as your opponent is only trying to target your cards, you can negate with this guy. But once again, unfortunately, he's not counting as Dark Magician, so you don't really have a way of bringing him back. With Eternal Soul, that's why I only have 1. Then we got 1 Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. That's just really in there if you don't have any Dark Magicians at your hand, and if you just need something else to poly. This guy is a pretty nice beat stick, also can steal an effect of a monster on the field. And for my final fusion monster, I got also the first dragon. This one, you might be thinking, this one's pretty weird, but 2 normal monsters cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects, is completely unaffected by card effects. Once again, this is like the Mystic Mine tactic. You get this guy on the field, and that's the only monster you're gonna need. And you just put this one over here, and then you cannot touch me with effects and battle and whatnot, and you don't have effects anyway, so I'm just gonna slowly kill you with this guy. And then we got 1 Norito, the Moral Leader, negate spell and trap cards, really good. 1 Ebon Illusion Mage, special summons your Dark Magician from the deck. 1 number 11 Big Eye to steal a monster. And a new card, Super Quantal Mech Beast Luster Rex. This guy, 2 level 7 monsters, and you can remove 1 material from this guy to negate the effect of a monster. And that's a quick effect, so I think that's really good. More effect negation is really what Dark Magician needed. I mean, negation in general. Let me move that over real quick here so I can get the rest into it. 2 Witch's Apprentice gives you a nice power boost and is really in here for the zones. The zones are really good, and you know, I like this card. I just really like this card. Also, when it gets destroyed by effect or battle, you can get a dark monster from your graveyard back to your hand if you want to. And then finally, the classic standard stuff, Nightmare Cerberus destroys a card that has been special summoned in the main monster zone. Nightmare Phoenix destroys back row. Nightmare Unicorn puts something back into your opponent's deck. And then finally, I got the Topologic Bomber Dragon just for more field control and removal in combination with Mystic Mine. Can just bop the entire field of the monster zones, in the main monster zones. And yeah, that's really it. And what the hell, I decided to do a side deck. I always say I don't really like doing that because it's really meta relevant, but whatever. I got the Fantastical Dragon Phantasme. I only have 1, but obviously you would run 3 of those in the side deck. What did I say before? Did I say extra deck? Side deck. This is your side deck, guys. But yeah, Phantasme if you're really playing against meta, but I don't think you would put it in the main deck because like it only works when your opponent has link monsters on the field. And yes, who plays without link monsters these days? Some people do. Okay, but yeah, 3 of those, just keep that in mind. I'm sliding stuff back because I need those. We got 3 Pancatrops, really good, just for turn 2, special summon. Is level 7 also, and Phantasme is also level 7. The only problem with Pancatrops, he's not dark. That's really annoying. If he was dark, I would put him in the main deck probably, in place of Tiamaton. And then, yes, I still play Kaijus. I play the 1 Gamma Seal and the 2 Radiant. Radiant because he's also level 7, he's dark, and Gamma Seal because you want to give Gamma Seal to your opponent and do nothing with that. And you get Radiant and you have a level 7 dark monster. And once again, this is more for the Mystic Mine combo. You put Mystic Mine on the field, your opponent cannot use effects, and you're just Kydring all his stuff away, and you're like, haha, just screw you. That's the entire idea, just to screw with your opponent. Also, I got the 1 Raigeki. Who plays with Raigeki? Well, this deck has a lot of targeting. Like, most of this removal is targeting, and if you have your opponent's monsters, or any card effects that say like no targeting, you play Raigeki. So, you know, that doesn't target, that just wipes everything from your board. Then we got 2 Twin Twisters. Now, Mystic Mine is gonna be meta. Mystic Mine is gonna be in a lot of decks, so you need some removal yourself, and that's why I just added 2 Twin Twister for a little bit more back row removal. You can run Galaxy Cyclone or whatever. I just got Twister in here because why not? It bumps 2 cards. And then for the same reason, and if you're really talking meta, everything that plays a lot of spell cards like Sky Striker, I got the 2 Eradicate the Epidemic Virus. Tribute 1 Dark Monster with 2,500 or more ATK, and declare 1 type of card, spell, or trap. Look at your opponent's hand. All spells, traps stay controlled, and all cards stay drawn until the end of their 3rd turn after this card's activation, and destroy cards such as the clear typing. So you can just bump your Dark Magician, put this guy and put this thing on the field, you bump the Dark Magician, and you say spell cards, and all the spell cards of your opponent are gone for the next 3 turns. And that's, yeah, no Mystic Mines for them, no Sky Striker shenanigans, and just, I mean, there's a lot of decks that play spell. So really, if you're having like more spell heavy decks, this one is pretty good. So that's your extra deck, side deck. I messed it up again. So that's gonna do it for you, Burakku Majishan deck profile. How did I do? Based more on fusion and adding heroes to it with the addition of Dark Cavalry and just Mystic Mine. Really slowing your opponent down so you can get your combo on the field, and once you get your combo on the field, it's really tough to break the Dark Magician board, to be honest. But yeah, that's gonna do it, guys. Let me know what you think about this deck profile. Let me know what you would play if you have some ideas. I'm always open. Like, I'm experimenting a lot on Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro and whatnot, so there you go with that. As usual, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile, hit it up with a like and subscribe to the channel so you can stay tuned for more figure reviews, Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profiles, and whatever the Dark Magician wants.